The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mills hit, and he loses the ball. And a costly turnover there as the ball will be spotted 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to...
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Running on 1st down, Eckler. Now he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Chargers open the lead up to 34-0. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes this 35-0 now.
Texans nothing.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This 1st half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd.
From the shotgun, it's Mills.
And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there. And they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10.
And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here. This last few plays, they moved right down the field. And just like that, they're going to be be set up with a first and goal.
This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Dameon Pierce, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Texans are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point up and good by Folk. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Charger drive about to get going. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Play action. It's Herbert. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. On the return, it's King. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Mills. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 33. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. From the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Well, CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Mills on first down.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Now Mills.
Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and picked up by the Chargers. There he goes, left side. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, LA. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching him.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Take it in at the 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone. And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Herbert now. He rifles one that's intercepted. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Folk connects on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Now Folk for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead back now to 21. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. It's Eckler again. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Here's King. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A good gain on 1st has them set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Play action now, Mills.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. This is swung out to Eckler. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Back to the air, Herbert on 2nd down. Trying to lay one up deep.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
But they went for the big play there. But that drop can really hurt their momentum.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Herbert. will be incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball. And it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
He's letting this one go for Fuller. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
That's into the hands of Eckler. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Herbert off of play action. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown.
So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
45 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. First down, they go right back to Pierce.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. About the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The offense on third down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They'll try and run for it. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
First down, Los Angeles.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Herbert. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw here, Herbert. Well, he's going to go for it all. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown.
Mike Williams.
43 yards.
And the Chargers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Texans 21.
The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Give them 6 yards in the first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 34. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
And they'll throw again. Here's Mills.
And now here is another interception.
Picked by Kenneth Murray.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
A first down throw for Mills.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Joey Bosa picks up his second sack of the afternoon. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Mills to throw it. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by J.C. Jackson.
And the Chargers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
He's airing it out for Williams. And this is caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And Woods has it complete. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
To throw, Mills. Caught left side by Mechie. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Flushed out right. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Mills on 3rd and 2.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Fuller.
And he is going to have a Texans first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Mills again.
He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. On for the extra point is full. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play.
Chargers 70, Texans 28.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
Taken in at the 3. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Charger drive about to get going.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. He's airing it out for Williams. And this is caught inside the 5. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Score, Chargers 77, Texans 28.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1.
Here's Desmond King on the return.
And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10. At their own 21-yard line.
One last shot from Mills.
And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Chargers, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.
Hello, new world, all the boys and girls. I got some true stories.